Hello everybody, this is NCS and welcome to me showcasing Touhou Shinkirou Hopeless Masquerade. In this video I'll be showing off battle mechanics, how they differ from the first from the previous Touhou fighting games, as well as from the trial version of this game. And I'll also showcase all of the not unlockable characters. The unlockable characters I'll showcase in a different video, because, well, I don't want to have any spoilers in this video. So because I already took like 27 minutes last video when only the trial version was out, I better get right started with this video, yeah, with showing off everything. Well, yeah, in this game, unlike the previous Touhou games, you don't have a full set of spell and skill cards to choose from, but, well, you have exactly 6 skill cards for all the characters, which you can assign to your 2 attacking or shot buttons, plus one of the 4 directions you can move in. That's how you also activate those skill cards, or the spell cards too. Each skill card obviously does, activate a different attack, and so do the 2 spell cards, but for those you will have to have certain conditions being met. You might see that diagram in the upper right corner there, which, that one changes depending on which skill cards you choose. The 3 symbols that are shown at the diagram are the 3, richest factions that are currently inside of Gensokyo. The ones, kanji at the top means gods, so it's basically Reime, and would be also the Moria Shrine, but those characters don't appear in this game for some reason. I don't know why still. The kanji to the left is, part of Taoism. So, that is to show, what the Taoists mostly use. And the kanji to the right is Buddhism, so what the Buddhist faction probably use mostly. Or at least according to the game. Depending on what, if you assign enough spell cards of one faction, then the symbol will highlight and your playing style will differ slightly. If you have enough spell cards or skill cards for the gods, then all of your projectiles, not projectiles at least, will start to home in on the enemy a little. If you have enough for the Taoists, then your projectiles will become faster, but I believe also easier to destroy. While as for the Buddhists, you will get a chargeable strong attack, but all of your projectiles will be pathetically weak. Or at least really short range, so I usually don't like choosing that. Let's see. Oh yeah, and since the full version, we have special items that change this diagram slightly. Let's say I want to equip this sword here, then, okay, that was Taoist, this talisman here, then my godhood slightly increases and everything else decreases. But I do not want that, I instead want to have my fantasy skill back. Oh, and the normal items also make a return, which do nothing on the diagram but have random effects, which I don't know what they actually do. Well, I do know that this Vaisvarana here shoots a laser beam at an enemy, but, yeah, I could choose to use a normal laser beam as well, or normal strong attack. So that's all for the spell cards, and I better get right started at showing off the characters, starting with Reime against Marisa at Dakre Shrine. Okay, I better disable this meter here for right now because I'm not there yet. Well, for the battle mechanics, you have a light punch, a strong punch, a light shot, and a strong shot. That is the same for all characters. You also can dash by double tapping any of the directions. Well, with moving up or down, you move up or down. And yeah, that's basically the same for all characters. Also, as you might have noticed, we are an aerial fighter, but the upper lane and the lower lane are just, well, to jump and dive in midair, so to say. So it's kind of difficult to stay in one lane without dashing or using several attacks. So back to the attacks. The character-specific attacks for Reime are once this gap here. If you use it again, you will teleport through this gap here. You, if I haven't said so, activate those attacks by pressing either both of the attack buttons or the two shot buttons together with the direction, or you can use one of the shortcuts that you can assign to those buttons. So yeah, Reime has this gap, which you will throw in different directions depending on which direction you've put it. Then she also has this somersault. If you put it on the up direction, she does 2 somersaults instead of just 1. She also has the homing projectiles, just normal projectiles, which will be shot at a different angle depending on which button you've assigned them to. And she has this neat barrier here. Nice to lay traps with Reime. Then I forgot to assign the different deck to Reime, or to my characters. Let's see which button does that do. There we go. I want to choose N6 Showcase. Because, and this one. Because there I actually have all the spell cards active, or skill cards. And I usually only have 4 skill cards and 4 spell cards. Just because. Well, then Reime also has, well, these projectiles that split up, but I'm not that much of a fan of it, which is why I never use it. And the balancing young ball. Nice. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the young orbs. Anyway, if you look at your health bar, normally, okay, then I press F2, that low, no, that actually, practice mode. Okay, apparently you cannot deactivate it, but normally your your health bar will be completely white, but if you get attacked or attack the enemy yourself, although that will only help less than being attacked, this blue meter at the health bar will increase, and once the blue meter completely fills up the white part of your spell bar, health bar, then you can activate a spell card. Well, you first have to announce it though, and by pressing the same buttons again, you can actually activate the spell card for massive damage. And there's the normal health bar. Well, Reime has Fantasy Seal and what I think could be something like Evil Sealing Water. Also, this here, right here is Dizziness. There's 2 different types of Dizziness. One that is white. Then you can still hurt enemies by using spell cards, not skill cards though. And then there's one for, well, this red one here. Then the enemy cannot be hit whatsoever. Then around your character's icon, you might, well, you can see this blue and red, well, color, yeah. Those 2 are, well, popularity bars. At the beginning of a battle, these 2 are usually completely gray, and, well, if you do good in the battle, like hitting an enemy while they try to hit you, which works really well with Reime, well, if you have an actual opponent. Let me show that off. Lunatic? Well, okay, yeah, let's keep Lunatic, that make things interesting. Let's see, can I... Well, Marisa actually hit me there. Then your bar will decrease, but if you... increase if you hit the enemy, but if you are hit while trying to do an attack, your own bar will decrease. So you might want to look out for that. Yeah, blue is good, red is bad, and if you get 100%, okay, Marisa, you're being annoying, although I still need you for Reime. If you have 100%, then you can activate your last word. Unlike the in the first trial, where you had to use it on a button like a spell card, here you activate the last spell by pressing... Hey, Marisa, leave me out there! By pressing all 4 attacking buttons, so your melee attacks as well as your two shot buttons. Or press both of the... Marisa? Both of the, well, shortcuts. I want you to attack, but not like that. Okay. Reima's last word is, if the enemy tries to attack you while you have it activated, then this will happen. Massive damage. Nice. Unfortunately, actually getting the 100% is rather difficult in a normal game. And I do want to deactivate you again, Marisa, because you're slightly annoying. Thank you. So that's all for Reima. Unless I've forgotten anything. But I don't think so, so let's continue with Marisa. Oh, by the way, you can also change the character's color palette again. And because I prefer Marisa's black and whiteness, I change it again. And let's go to the second stage, the human village, with Magus Knight playing in the background. And if I might say anything about the music, in my opinion, this version of Magus Knight fits Marisa so much better than the very worst version. It's just more easygoing. Well, anyway, Marisa as well has different attacks. This one here is, well, a special attack. Well, yeah, what's more to say about that? It basically is a huge bullet, yeah, which does massive damage. Oh, and you might see in that in the lower left corner. Well, for your character, okay, let me just rephrase that. Every character has different, well, different special things. I don't know how else to explain it. For Marisa, it's basically if you use a strong shot or any of the special attacks 4 times, then, or 3 times, then the next one, the 4th one, will become a powered up version of that attack, which basically deals more damage and gets wall throwing probabilities. Reima doesn't seem to have that. However, she's really good with getting popularity, at least in my opinion. So that might equal that out. Yeah, that was one of Marisa's attacks. Well, that's her weak shot and her strong shot if you want to know. And for some reason, the game just froze. Another attack that I really like for Marisa is... yeah, this broom swipe here. It's really well if you want to, well, do this, a combo finisher. Well, another attack, which I also really like with Marisa. Come on. Oh, okay, they just waited there. I usually link those two together. The computer eye is usually stupid enough to just stay at the corner if they are thrown up with broom swipe. Well, it's this attack here. Basically, Marisa shoots projectiles into the air, and, well, they will come down and try to hit the enemy. However, if the enemy is already on top of you, you can deal so much damage with that. Yeah, I really like that attack. Then Marisa also has this broom rush here. Really great to cover some distance. And then she has a potion which will change the throwing arc depending on which button you have that. Actually, I believe nothing else changes for Marisa. And then you have this one. Okay, this attack here will change the direction in which Marisa will spin in, but yeah. I don't believe that any of the other attacks actually change. Lots of humans down here. Hey, more Concanen. I believe somewhere is the new manga character, but I can't see her just there. And hey, what happened of Yugi and Suika since the trial version? The second one, that is. Huh. Strange they disappeared. Oh well. But at least Cody is still there. Yeah, enough about the background. Yeah, spell cards, right. Marisa's spell cards are for one this here. I could try to translate it, but it would take too much time. I'll annotate it in there if I feel like it. And Master Spark! Well, yeah, you have to know that one's name. Basically, again, it's a huge laser, which does really good damage, but it's rather easy to avoid and graze. You graze projectiles, so basically avoid them by rushing. So yeah, Master Spark If you can combo that with another attack really well, but if you can't, well, that sucks. Then Marisa's last word spell card can be activated by, well, activating it and hitting an enemy. And then, well, the rest is automated. Usually it doesn't deal as much damage as Seremus does, because Seremus' attack is always considered counter damage, but it's still strong enough. Okay, let's deactivate that again. And change to the next character, Ichirin, which I've also shown since the last, trial version. Let's get her stage. The Pelican Ship, or whatever it's called. Ichirin, I barely use her, so please excuse me if I don't know that much about her. One of her attacks is this hand that comes down here, which will change its distance to Ichirin depending on where you place it. Left means really close, down means it's, well, not that far away, but, well, a little further away, and right means that it's all the way at the other side of the screen. Oh, and Ichirin's normal shot, that hit. Or if you press forward and the strong shot, then her, well, Cloud Familiar Unzan will shoot his hands at the enemy. So let's see, then we have this attack here. Yeah, I don't really like it, it's far too slow. An attack that I never can put off in actual battle, so I never use it. This attack here, well, first calls Unzan and makes him beat at the enemy. Depending on, well, if you place it on the forward button, Unzan will actually travel forward, whereas if you place him anywhere else, he will not. This attack here, depending on where I place it, Unzan will either shoot from below to up or up down. And the last attack is an anti-air attack. Ichirin spell cards. Let's see, which one are you? Right. Can potentially be great, I guess. And this one... yeah, that one's better in my opinion, because it has far more range. Okay, here our last word spell card. In my opinion, her last word spell card has the most potential of actually, well, dealing a lot of damage. It's relatively easy to pull off, and oh, look at that! I have no idea if you can actually grace those hands. And, well, I wouldn't think so, because, well, Unzan still has those lasers. Just look at how much damage I just dealt there. However, this attack here can still be blocked, and it should be rather easy to use that since, well, you can clearly see that this last word card here has been activated. Okay, on to the new characters. Well, okay, Byakuren, I rarely use her as well, so, well, I'll show you why in a moment. Oh, by the way, Ichirin's special was if she gets attacked, sooner or later she'll get to rage mode and deal more damage. Okay, Ichirin's normal shots, okay, not that spectacular, seeing how the strong shot, even when not having Buddhism on, is rather, well, it doesn't travel that far, unfortunately. But at least her normal shot is homing, no matter what. Yeah. The reason why I don't really like Byakuren, you cannot perform any skill card without having it declared before. Or prepared, or whatever you want to call it. So, it is rather annoying to pull off. At least for me, because usually what I do is I prepare a spell card, or skill card I mean, then I want to use it, I get hit, and the skill card is lost. Yeah. So, yeah. Rushing ability, close combat ability, well, yeah, not that great in my opinion. That spear or whatever that is could be useful, but I usually get hit before I can pull that off. What is that one? Ah, right. A drop down kick or an upwards kick, depending on where you actually place that card, can be useful, but you have to prepare it first, so yeah. It's Byakuren after all. This attack here, really close range, and I have no idea what it should be good for, except for maybe throwing away the enemy. And lastly, we have this. That spell card is or skill card is actually not bad, seeing how it travels below the enemy. But if you actually, or not, but it can be easily grazed. Spell cards for Byakuren, those are actually better than her skill cards. Okay, let me show that one off again because I was kind of close to the enemy, and look at the damage! I believe that's the most I've seen of normal spell card. Yeah, Byakuren actually throws her weapon at the enemy, and if it hits and it's not blocked, yes, it can be blocked, then she will rush towards the enemy and attack them. The other spell card, I believe that one was actually... It was not close, but I need the enemy to attack me. Yeah, the timing is a little difficult. Okay, please attack me. Too late. Well, unlike with Reimu's Last Word spell card, here you can be hit by any attack, but you do actually have to be hit. If that happens, this. Nice. Can be a little tricky to pull off, but it shouldn't be that difficult. Unless you happen to be... Okay, why do you keep attacking me? You're not supposed to do that. I've broken the game, it seems. Okay. Well, the Last Word spell card. Right, you need to be in lane with the enemy. Okay. I don't know what just happened there. Come on! Please be nice, enemy, and do not attack me. Thank you. Last Word spell card, you rush towards the enemy and do a lot of damage. Well, yeah, except for her spell cards, Byakuren is not that great in my opinion. Well, let's see, character select. Let's get to the Taoists, which have, well, who have come to the game. No, not Byakuren, I want to have Ichigi. To the game in Touhou 13. There we go. Alright, I'll deactivate that. Okay, Futo's special is pretty much, well, Futo plays pretty much like Alice in the previous fighting games, and playing the most, well, tactical of the characters. Well, Koichi is also really tactical. Well, those two are. With Futo, what you want to do is place dishes everywhere with either a strong or a weak shot. Or maybe not with a strong shot, okay, if you don't want to. And all of her special attacks, all except for one, are based on the dishes you've placed on the field. I know, right, this is the not patched version. On the patched version, those dishes will actually be of a different color. And I did not want to activate the spell card, oh well. So, one of her attacks is that she will shoot a fireball at the enemy, and if there are actually dishes on the field, then she will first target the dishes, and then her fireball will travel towards the enemy. However, if there are no dishes at all, she'll just shoot straight forward. Okay, place more dishes. Another attack is that she will shoot an arrow. If there are actually dishes in her range, then she will shoot at the dish and make the arrow split and, well, have multiple smaller projectiles. Another attack is there. Yeah, then she will teleport towards the dish. Get another. What attack is that? Oh right, that one. Yeah, if there is a dish on the field and she actually hits that dish with that attack, it will create, well, a wall of water, which will hurt the enemy. And her last attack is... Okay, that doesn't have to do anything with her dish. Oh wait, it is the last attack, but... Yeah, she will create a stone wall, or, well, she'll create a rock or whatever, and hit the enemy. If there are dishes in her way, then those will also break. And her really last attack is her summoning a boat. Are you copying Komachi now? So much fun. Also, the more dishes you actually destroy, the stronger her attacks will get, or at least the boat will change in size and, well, in shape. who does spell cards are for once this one. Nice. I like huge flames of walls of flames. And this spell card here. Right. You want to be close to the enemy here because it will create a lot of dishes. One thing I really like to do is placing dishes at both sides of the enemy and then shooting a fireball at them. Because that usually deals a lot of damage. The dish counter at the bottom can go up to 99, which really will never happen at all if you play normally. Oh, right. But, yeah, if you go any higher, then nothing will happen. For her last word spell card, you want to be really close to the enemy as well. Nice. And from now on, if the enemy stays too low, they will get damaged by those flames down there. But I cannot seem to throw her into the flames. Oh well. Usually she would be hurt by that as well, but the auto generation from the practice mode, well, doesn't make that visible. Okay, hey, there we go. Next up is Miko, the final boss of the 13th game. And we have another nice addition of True Administrator. Who does special ability is, you might see those for people in the lower left corner. If you do well against them, not against them, but against your enemy, then, well, they will get excited and your attacks will get stronger. If you do poorly, however, or use, wait, where did I place that attack? No, not there. This attack here, no, not that attack here, does something else. I cannot seem to find it. I show everything else off except for what I don't do. Ah, there we go. This attack here actually decreases the, well, enthusiasm of the enemies. All those 4 random people in the corner. Not the enemy. Well, yeah. Okay, this attack here, which I accidentally pulled off before, that will actually increase your popularity once it turns yellow and is absorbed by you. But I believe if you are attacked by an enemy while that is yellow, it will flow over to the enemy instead. At least I think that happens. And yeah, will you please stop? That's annoying. Okay, well those two are Miko's normal attacks. Whatever. Now I pulled it off even though I didn't want to. But yeah, you can already see that that attack here has become smaller. Another attack here is that other laser, which you might want to do if you have Buddhism on, because then her normal laser will be really, well, short. Another attack here is, well, this ring here, which will increase in size if the enthusiasm... Yeah, I can't talk! Enthusiasm of the people in the corner will get higher. So then, Miko can also teleport. Depending on where you actually place that ability, she will change the, well, where she will teleport. If you place it on the back, she will teleport back. If you place it on the right, she will teleport behind the enemy. If you place it down, she will teleport down. And up, she will teleport above the enemy. However, okay, I really want to show that off right now, so please excuse me right there. One reason why I don't like the teleportation ability. Right? Teleporting Miko, ready to go. Practice. It's Byakuren for all that I care, but I probably should also use the profile that actually has that teleportation on. Let's turn her on. Computer Lunatic. There. I was trying to block, actually. The animation time... The animation time of the teleportation is just so long that usually, by the time you want to block or to try to attack the enemy, you will be hit yourself. So really, the teleportation isn't that great. At least in my opinion. If you are able to pull it off properly, go ahead and use it. But I can't, really. So, let's hope she won't get stuck in an attacking enemy. She does. Okay. Byakuren's, but Miko's last word spell card is this. This attack here has a huge range, so look at her laugh. So even if the enemy's all the way over there, I should still be able to hit Byakuren. Yeah. However, it does take quite a while to actually pull it off. Okay, let's deactivate that and get to the next character. The second to last not unlockable character is Nitori. She finally made it, actually. She was planned for Hizo Tensoku already, but she didn't make it in there because of, well, time reasons. Nitori is kind of special too, actually. Ah, nice version of Candid Friend. Her special is that she has ammunition for all of her special attacks. And her shots too. So, at first she has 999 ammunition, but eventually, as you can see there, her strong shot takes quite a lot of ammunition already. So you might want to be careful with some of the attacks, but usually, unless you're playing story mode, you will rarely see it drop all the way to 0. But yeah, if the ammunition counter actually does drop to 0, then you won't be able to do any special attacks and your normal shot will be weakened as well. What are you doing there in the background, Moria Shrine people? You were supposed to actually be fighters in this game. And who do you send? Nitori? Well, okay, I actually prefer that. And I has 2 in the background. And Hatate is over to the right there. Just thought to point that out. Well, anyway, Nitori's special attacks. One of my most favorite special attacks is her grappling hook. It's just so great to actually use that. If you place it down, Nitori does this swinging attack. If you place it forward, she will grapple towards the enemy. Backward, I believe she will grapple backward, but well, you can just dash, really. And if you place it on the up button, she will grapple upwards to dodge easier, I suppose. Then Nitori also has this attack here, which locks onto the enemy, or at least you have to make it lock on, and once it has, the projectile will come flying down at the enemy and hit, or not if the enemy moves away. Depending on where you place it, the range of that projectile will increase. Then you also have this, is he throwing a cucumber? An explosive one? Okay. Well, this will basically create a huge wall. If you place it on up, the projectile will fly slightly further upwards. If you place it on the right button, it will travel further. Left button, it will travel less far. And on the down button, I suppose it will travel downwards. Then Nitori also has this attack here. I suppose it's useful if you plan to use anti-air, anti-ground attacks against the enemy. Then she also has this on this attack here. If you place 2 of those cogs right next to each other, they will start to spin again and hurt the enemy, if they actually are range. But she will always place those cogs either upwards or downwards, so it's a good anti-air attack, I suppose, but I have trouble pulling that off. And lastly, Nitori has this attack. I never used that, because really I don't know what to make of that. I cannot hit my enemy if I try to use that, at least on the up button, and if I get all the way close to her, I can only hit the enemy once, or, well, if they block, then 3 times, but oh well. I far prefer this. But yeah, our counter has now dropped to 0, so... okay, the weak shot might not be influenced that much, but her strong shot is weaker, and... yeah, the cogs, well, are smaller. Actually, that's... yeah, okay, that is now a physical attack. That one, it disappears to nothingness, although I believe you could use it as an anti-air attack. If you're really close to the enemy. Yeah, her cucumber explosive one won't work at all, neither will the grappling hook. And yeah, this neither. It's useless now. Anyway, need to do special attacks. Or spell cards, I mean. For this one, whatever that exclamation mark one means, she will turn into the one of the bosses of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and actually drill the enemy! Really, it reminds me so much of the Mystic Cave enemy boss in Sonic 2. I don't know, it must be the drills. That one can deal so much damage if you actually manage to hit the enemy well. And then she also has this one. You know, what's more to be afraid of than bubbles? And I missed. Okay, that was pathetic. But yeah, there's two ways you can pull off that attack. Either you trap the enemy inside the bubble to deal massive damage, or... Oops. Wait, no, that was the wrong one. Oops. Okay, let's pull it off again. Whee! Super D3! Or what you can also do with a bubble spell card is, if you actually fail to hit the enemy, you can still do that for, well, creating a lot of area damage, so to say. But the damage all in all will be not that strong, so I prefer trying to trap the enemy inside. Literally is so much fun to play with. And more drills! And a wrecking ball. Okay. Yeah, Nichiri is one of my favorite characters aside from Marisa and Futo and Miko slightly as well. Miko though, mostly because she's one of my favorite characters, but her playing style could be better. So, Koichi. Koichi's weird. You kind of get the feelings that that she's kind of playing herself rather than you're playing her. Why? Well, you may be able to pull off normal attacks, well, the weak attack and weak shot. However, if you press the strong shot, nothing happens until a little while later. Yeah, all of Mituri's Koichi's attacks are delayed. Also a strong physical attack. But if you get close to the enemy, she will activate it herself. So if you are all the way over there, nothing happens. If you get closer, okay, that was her dash. She will do this. Other than that, Koichi also has this attack. If the circle will manage to hit the enemy, she will teleport forward and attack. Or backward. The up? Well, what do I have on up? Oh, let's see. Ah, there, right. Yeah. This will be delayed a little, and after a while she will do this attack. This is really good to combo in with other attacks, unless you actually, well, punch the enemy too far away. And did you just sneeze, Koichi? Why do I always want to call it Nitin? Another attack is this one. I don't know why, but I like that. And this attack here, well, a sensor laser or something. Well, yeah, it will travel and eventually it will hit the enemy. The effective area will also travel with the distance of the enemy, so it is rather easy to hit with that attack, actually. Then we also have this attack here, which will explode at any time, actually, not only when you are close to the... yeah, at any time, so it's a little difficult to pull off. I prefer to use one of the other attacks. And then we also have this here. These roses, I usually never hit the enemy with those. Unless they're actually completely still. For her spell cards, we have, I believe this one is the one you want the enemy to be close. Yeah. She will suck the enemy towards her and hurt them a lot. Then we also have the exact opposite, where she will push the enemy away and hurt them a lot. And I just realized that I didn't show off the last word with Nitori. I'll do that in a moment. So, Koichi's last word. Sucks if you're not close enough to the enemy. Or sucks altogether. I don't know really. I barely play Koichi and well, you barely get the last words to begin with. So I never really tried that last word out. But Nitori's last word card. it might be familiar to you if you play a lot of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Yeah. First person Nitori. Why not? If you are good at shooting at the enemy, or at shooting at movable targets, then this last word card might actually deal quite a lot of damage. However, as you can see, I'm not really that well at it. Also, the enemy can dodge it, and well, I don't know if they can grace it. But this last word spell card is actually really well in story mode, seeing how, well, for the spell cards, the bosses in the story mode barely move at all. But speaking of the story mode, I guess, okay, I am 41 minutes or so already in the video, but might as well show a bit of the story mode. Or where's this calm? I have so much to show! Well, okay, some other functions here are, well, replay are here again. Well, they have to be. I mean, what's a Touhou game without a replay function? Versus network again, which is really nice. Versus player, if you have a friend over. Versus com, yeah, okay, I'll